right, welcome everyone to episode 212. Can you believe it, Jenny? 212.
212. Mark, feels like just yesterday we were knee-deep in explaining some other complex thing. But today, you are practically buzzing. What's fueling this energy?
Oh man, this is the fascinating stuff. We're delving into Google's quantum computer, Sycamore, and this. Pretty significant find. They're calling it the Omega pattern.
The Omega pattern? Okay, Mark, that sounds properly dramatic. Like something you'd find written on a cave wall in a sci-fi film. No, this quantum computer. It didn't just solve a complex equation faster. It found a pattern?
Precisely. And that's where it gets really interesting. It goes beyond just raw speed, although quantum computers are quite efficient for certain calculations. This Omega pattern. It showed up while they were running these intricate quantum experiments on Sycamore. It's a mathematical pattern, a structure that seems remarkably stable, even in conditions where you'd anticipate chaos based on classical physics.
Okay, before my brain does a full reboot trying to process stable chaos, let's clarify. They ran an experiment, and instead of just outputting numbers, the quantum computer revealed a pattern that clashes with our standard understanding of physics. It's defying the rules as we know them?
In essence, yes, that's it. Imagine this. They carefully set up these entangled qubits, the fundamental quantum bits, in a specific, almost mirrored setup. The experiment was somewhat designed to simulate scenarios similar to cosmic inflation. You know, that incredibly rapid expansion that theorists propose happened right after the Big Bang?
Right, using a computer to model the moments of creation, essentially.
Just about. And out of these complex simulations, this unpredicted pattern emerged. The Omega pattern. It feels fundamental, doesn't it? Like maybe a hidden blueprint for how the universe works? Brian Cox, the physicist. You know how enthusiastic he gets? He reportedly described it as a reality-breaking moment. Coming from him, that statement carries substantial weight.
Gosh, hearing Brian Cox say reality-breaking certainly elevates this from a cool computer result to a potentially profound cosmic reveal. So, this Sycamore chip, how's it genuinely different from, say, my reliable old laptop?
The core difference is how they handle information. Your laptop, a classical computer, stores data as bits, either a 0 or a 1, simple binary. Quantum computers employ qubits, which, thanks to quantum mechanics, can exist as a 0, a 1, or a mixture of both simultaneously through superposition.
Right, superposition. The quantum weirdness.
The quantum weirdness. And even more mind-bending, qubits can be entangled. Their states become interlinked, so the state of one qubit affects the state of another, regardless of the physical distance between them. That's a key part of their power. Sycamore is built with 53 qubits. Now, keeping them entangled, protecting them from environmental interference, noise, that's a massive engineering hurdle. But because they manage this, they can execute these complex simulations that mirror intricate natural phenomena.
And simulating something like early cosmic inflation on a classical supercomputer? That's just not feasible to the same degree?
Not really. Especially when you factor in the entanglement and the sheer scale of the simulation required to get to this pattern. I was just looking this up. Trying to simulate just Google's 53-qubit system with the kind of complexity needed for this experiment on a classical machine would require an enormous cluster of GPUs. We're talking over 1,400 GPUs just to try and keep pace with what the quantum chip does when it's operating effectively in that specific task.
So the quantum method is vastly more efficient for these particular types of problems. It really underscores the difference in their computational approach.
Precisely, and the Omega pattern appearing out of this. It points towards the likelihood that maybe these deep, stable patterns are woven into the fabric of reality, and perhaps quantum systems are just the appropriate tool to bring them into view. It's like you can only see a certain color if you use a specific kind of lens, and the quantum computer is that lens for this pattern.
That analogy helps. Is the Omega pattern useful for the field of quantum computing itself? I mean, could understanding it help build more robust quantum computers? Or craft new types of algorithms?
That's a significant possibility. If this pattern holds up, and is as foundational as it appears, comprehending it might offer crucial insights into challenges like quantum error correction. Error correction is a significant barrier in scaling up quantum computing. Or it could even inspire entirely new methods for creating quantum algorithms, particularly for problems in fundamental physics or materials science.
Okay, so it's not strictly a cool scientific curiosity. It might have practical implications for moving quantum computing forward.
Exactly. There's been talk from Google about seeing practical quantum computing applications within 5 years. Discoveries like the Omega pattern, while they might not be a simple app you download tomorrow, could accelerate that timeline. They give us a better grasp of how quantum systems truly behave and how to control them. Imagine using these powerful computers to design new materials with tailored properties, expedite drug discovery, or perhaps unpack even more fundamental secrets of the cosmos, and do it with unprecedented swiftness.
That certainly opens up a vast landscape of possibilities. And it does make you consider our basic understanding of reality. Brian Cox's reality-breaking observation continues to resonate with me. If a pattern this fundamental surfaces only in a quantum system simulating cosmic conditions, what does that imply about the universe we're part of?
Right? It truly makes you pause, doesn't it? It suggests we might be only scratching the surface of what's happening at the deepest levels of reality, and it provokes thought about whether there are other patterns, other hidden structures, just waiting for these newer, more powerful tools to reveal them.
So even if the full meaning of the Omega pattern isn't grasped yet, the fact that Google's quantum computer found it marks a significant advance. It demonstrates the promise of these systems to explore areas of physics that were previously out of reach.
Undoubtedly. And it speaks volumes about the engineering skill that goes into something like Sycamore. Getting those qubits to work in concert to reveal something this seemingly profound. That feels like a major step. It's less about building a faster computing machine, and more about building one that can assist us in understanding the world around us in novel ways.
And hopefully, those novel ways of understanding will translate into beneficial steps for everyone. It's a complex topic, no doubt. The Omega pattern still feels pulled from a science fiction narrative. But perhaps science is catching up?
Perhaps. And that's what makes this subject matter genuinely compelling. It expands the boundaries of what we conceive as possible. We'll certainly be monitoring the developments with this Omega pattern and what it leads to. This feels very much like the initial steps in deciphering its greater meaning.
Agreed. It's definitely a story worth paying attention to. Mark, thank you for breaking down this intricate concept and making it digestible, despite the potentially alarming headlines.
Excited tone. Glad to. It's exciting ground, even if it twists your brain a bit. Alright, that brings us to the close of a new episode of
our podcast.
Episode 212 is complete. We'll connect with you on the next one.
Take care, everyone.